in 1989. I was 5 years old, and I am a professional full-time reader. I specialize in love, and I'm going to be doing some poetry, original poetry on my show right now. So today is like grief processing. It's pretty intense. I'm going to be real with you guys, and I'm also teaching you. I'm a natural teacher. So I'm going to be teaching you guys some boundaries, healthy boundaries. As a relationship coach, I'm passionate about helping you guys with your dreams, your goals, your mission, your vision. I just want you guys to be yourself. I want you guys, whatever you're passionate about. Okay. Like, I want you guys to follow your passion. I want you guys to live your passion. These things matter to me. I want you guys to be your best version of yourself. Everybody up in here. All right. So hold on. I'm going to do a little message here. So bear with me. Oops. We're going to wait for some people to get up in here before I read this poem. YouTube sometimes crashes. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody else on this channel has that issue with YouTube crashing, but boy, is it an issue. All right, so let's see here. Okay, we're going to do this. Okay. Do this. Just about ready. I appreciate you guys' patience. I'm about to, yeah, we got 2 people right here. We're waiting on some people to come up in here. Then I'm going to read this personal poem. I'm so sorry my last show crashed. I don't know why that happens. It's so strange. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to post that. All right, so here we go. I think I should probably wait for some more people to get up in here. I'm going to probably talk for a little bit, and then I'll go back to that poem that I started. Yeah. Okay. So what can I say, you guys? No one's going to love you or respect you until you love and respect yourself. That's how it goes. The world's a mirror. The entire world is a mirror of our own consciousness. And like I said, you have to love yourself before anybody else is going to love you. You know, we gain weight in our bodies because there's grief, there's pain, there's sadness, there's anger, there's repressed anger in your solar plexus. That's your stomach, right? Your tummy region you're repressing so much anger. Your body's just like trying to protect against it. So this is what you need to know. What do you mean? What's a flash poem? I don't know what you mean by flash. All right, guys, I'm about to start my poem again. My original poem. You said your flash poem. You wrote flash poem. I don't know what that means. So yeah, you guys ready? We'll examine relationships here in a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and read this to you guys. So here's my poem. I wrote this poem on June 17th, 2010. And I titled it My Past, My Experience with My, quote, mother, meaning my adoptive mother, okay? My fake mom, as in my adoptive mother. And I wrote Grief, Stage 2, Anger. So there's stages of grief. This is stage 2. It starts to rhyme. My poem will start to rhyme. Once I get through it, I go into the rhyming. So I wrote, maybe I didn't really take much interest in the family because I couldn't relate. I wasn't into sports and comedy. So maybe I was a little, quote, self-absorbed. Now, this is very important. I need you guys to understand when I put things in quotes, it's basically my unhealthy mother. It's me putting back her projections onto her. I hope this makes sense to you guys. You're going to see me quote like that a lot. And I'm basically throwing her words back, like everything that she didn't own, like all the shit that was hers that she threw and regurgitated onto me. I'm basically spitting it back to her where it belongs. So I said, so maybe I was a little self-absorbed. The truth is she's self-absorbed. That's the truth. Okay, that's okay. So I wrote, like Max, who's my biological father, and my uncles. I relate. I can talk to them, as in Max and my uncles. I can talk to them and about their lives and their interests. Thank you, Bigfoot. Because we share those things, but I didn't identify with the things that my adopted family was into. They wanted me to be someone else. Thank you so much, Bigfoot. That is cool as hell. I've never seen anybody do that. I've in my entire life, I've never seen these little numbers like this timey thing. So I appreciate that. Okay. So my poem will start to rhyme here in a little bit. But I said, they, my adoptive family, wanted me to be somebody else, and maybe I needed them to be someone else too, so I could relate. There was never anyone to relate to. The first time I related was when I met Max and Lisa. Max and Lisa were my real family, like my biological family, in a family way. It was amazing. But it hurts that my quote family, meaning my adopted family, and I never connected. That my mother did not accept me and tried to change me. I never tried to get my family to change. Not to my knowledge. I just tried to get them to understand. I'm emphasizing certain words here. I was the outcast to them. Why couldn't I be, quote, popular? And again, this is from her, okay? When I put things in quotes, these are things that she forced onto me. And like everyone else, my mother would say, she would criticize me. It was pretty extreme. And yeah, that's her own shit, I say with animosity and bitterness. But still, what, quote, mother criticizes their son and undercuts him, undermines him, a narcissistic mother? I mean, I couldn't do anything right with her. She would criticize me for how I held my silverware. No wonder I was so fucking self-conscious. She would act like I was a fucking alien, as though she did not know me. Because she didn't, but yeah. God forbid I be my own person, not one of her own. And worse, be directly related to her sister, her terrible, disruptive, rebellious sister. Now, again, these quotes are her twisted perception, just so you know. Okay. And then I wrote Jay, which is the sister. We're just using this. Okay. Jay was not a bad person. She was outspoken. My mom was just different. She always wanted to be popular. It was all she cared about. Her and Jay were just so different. Jay could care less about being popular. She just wanted to have fun and live life, and they butt heads. My mother could not separate her sister from me. She'd call me a bitch constantly and demean me and call me Jay this and Jay that, to the point where I could not even talk without being interrupted and insulted. When I talked, she'd slap me in the face and say I was back talking, or she'd pull my hair or throw the remote control at me. She couldn't separate as I stood in between, in the middle of her masquerade, her Rocky Horror show. It was never my own, I always said to myself, assuring myself that this couldn't be about me. But I could have sworn it was when I was a kid. I internalized it. And throughout my teenage and early adult years, kids believe things their parents say. My mother taught me to hate myself because I trusted her. In her words, quote, bitch, quote, you're nothing but a fucking weirdo. I'm literally quoting my mother, like word for word, etc. I hate her. And I wrote here, this is my way of putting back her projection onto her where it belongs. Okay. I wrote E, my bipolar ex said to me one time in one of her fits and rages, go to hell. Well, I hope she and my mother go to hell. I just want to speak this grief, and this is important. This grief needs a voice. Stage 2 anger. I am angry at her. She can, quote, go to hell. That is me dispelling my frustration for her insults. I internalized her words and mistook them for truth. I swallowed them whole. However, did I ingest such poison, creating toxic shame? However, did I learn to love and believe in myself? Well, that's simple. I haven't yet. And that is a lesson I need to learn. Self-acceptance or self-love and acceptance. Because God knows I didn't get any of that from her growing up. She spit all over me. I could never be my own person. I was never seen as a person. I was a screen for her to project onto. As I said, I swallowed it whole. Now I have toxic shame and grief as tall as the Berlin Wall turned upside down. And my trust is just shattered. And the truth, unconditional love in my eyes ran thin because all I experienced were lies and conditions, strings attached. Quote, if you were like other guys, you would be good enough. Until then, I will call you a bitch, quote. And a, quote, fucking weirdo. A half a dozen times and demean and slap and criticize you until you get it through your head, Maverick, that you just don't measure up. I could not fight back, and now I'm the bad guy. When I bring it up to her, I am the bad guy for saying, "Mom, I felt this way, and it hurt and it hurt me. Your words and actions hurt me. Mom, these are my feelings as a result of your hostile and cruel actions." I actually am a dude. So you're super fucking ignorant, bro. I'm actually intersex. So I was literally born with fucking balls. So fuck you. Fuck you. You're very ignorant. Okay. Anyways, Mom, these are my feelings as a result of your hostile and cruel actions. Mom, you have hurt me and shattered my trust. Mom, I learned from you that it's okay to be abused. Mom, you can walk all over me and criticize me and demean me. You can pull my hair, berate me, throw objects at me, and then tell me you love me. Mom, you are a Jekyll and a Hyde. And you keep smiling to the world. However, could or should they know the real truth as I sit here, as you hide behind some image, behind some face, a mask. Mom, how could you have never seen the real thing, the beautiful person inside, behind your projections, your smoke-filled screen of lies and distortions? How could you have never seen or heard my heartfelt cries, or saw the tears that I hide, large enough to fill an ocean? Quote, how could you have not been there when I was screaming, Mom, please? So her husband is scaring me. He's hurting me. I am not sure which was worse, you hurting me emotionally or him hurting me physically. She could never live up to her actions. I was a smoke-filled screen, I repeat, a slate for her rants and slanders and curse words. Not some dry erase board or blackboard. It was permanent. The scarring, the damage to my self-esteem, hitting me like a lethal dose of cocaine. All I ever wanted was some fucking oxygen to breathe, to be my own person, to live separate from her. But she warped me into her world, her sick, twisted little world, her tongue so sharp. Bullets. I was constantly dodging bullets. I could not fight back. It was as though my wrists and hands had been tied and my throat slit, and her tongue was stuck in my mouth like emotional incest. She would not let me breathe. I could not escape her presence. I could not escape her presence, as she would always find a way to pull me back in, to say something more. It was so disruptive to my psyche. Anything to get her out of me, to cast me out. She would keep me wrapped around her dirty little finger, squeezing me to death. and not with love or hugs, but venom, poison, polluting the airways, I say. I cannot breathe when she's choking me with her words and her toxins. My screams were not loud enough for anyone to hear. I felt helpless. I kicked and I screamed. I wanted her off of me, her presence. She would not stop as she beat her head against me, metaphorically. And it hurt me, further psychologically damaged me every time. My dad tried to step in, but even she brought him down, drowning him, drowning out his voice. There was no safety and no love and goodbye in my mind. For I was too tied to her, too wrapped around her finger to understand, to see the truth versus a lie. The truth versus a lie. And it was all a lie, but it became my truth. That was my reality. For so long, her slander and insults and fits and rages, she can go fuck herself. I hate her, I repeat. And still, years later, and yes, this is my grief, finally coming out. She is a joke. A heartless, cruel, crude, insensitive, quote, bitch. I'm literally pushing back, like mirroring back to her own words. Like, I'm basically disowning the bullshit. I said, this is me throwing back to her, like putting back where it belongs, her projections that I internalized. So I wrote, I do not recognize her face, this woman who hits me with inanimate objects and then claims to love me, reinforcing her superficial image with passages from her Bible. It sounds like such bullshit to me, hypocrisy. Quote, you want me to believe you, mother? Yet you're so fucking inconsistent, and yet I swallow it. That has become my reality. Who would have guessed? I think it's funny how I'm a psychology major. Ha 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 ha. Why I'm a psychology major, ha ha ha, and how I want to understand all of this and people, and for things to make sense. My fucking life never made sense. My reality with her, which was my life because she would not let me separate. It was, as like I said, like dodging bullets. Fuck her, and like my poem says, and fuck him too for not having enough strength in his heart to pull through. And this is quite literal, actually. I found my dad dead of a heart attack. So there's some interesting symbolism behind this poem. And fuck you for all the times you told me I'd, quote, never amount to anything. Because someday I'm going to be on top of the world and throw it in your face. Quote, you're such a goddamn disgrace. And that's a quote from her. She literally said that. She goes, she says, you're such a fucking goddamn disgrace. My mom said that to me. Those were her exact words she spoke to me. I ingested her projections. I just want to say sarcastically, I'm sorry, Mom. Did I disappoint you? Was there a miscommunication? Did I get switched at the hospital? Do I remind you of someone else? Was I not everything you wanted me to be? Is your money not enough and your lovely dream mansion and the car and the cash flow? Is it still not enough for such a sick person like yourself? I want to say, quote, oh my God, Mom, you have a pimple on your face. Are you going to fall apart now, Mother? Lovely Mother. Are you going to shatter? Oh, wait, your mirror has been imperfectly perfected. Shattered. Ha ha. Quote, Mother, you expected me to pick up the pieces and be responsible for your happiness. Fuck you, Mom. She can kiss my ass, her utopia, her idea of perfection, extending to me so far that if I should at all have my own wishes and my own desires, she would throw me to the curb, all while retaining such a lovely poised face, a quote, white picket fence reality, quite literally. Wow, the delusion. I mean, illusion. The delusion on her part to not even see me as a separate person. Narcissistic wounding, question mark? Tragedy, question mark? Oh, I'm so sorry, dear mother. Was it that bad? I was a fucking victim, literal. She took me down so she can kiss my fucking ass. She can kiss my fucking ass. She is so pathetic, and yet she feeds off of people like a motherfucking vampire. What the fuck do I look like? I have already been poisoned. What else is left? No, nothing. Nobody but that husband. But that's right. He's too preoccupied with his motherfucking alcohol bottle. His fucking alcohol bottle and sports television. Sports television. How does it feel now, Mom? To be all alone, to be faced with yourself and no one else. Is it comforting, consoling, knowing, Mother, that you have pushed everyone away with your vanity, your pseudo charm, and your riches and your material wealth, your false security, your guise, your mask, your filter? I must say, you sure had no filter back then, just degradation and intoxication. She slapped me, and my God, I'm finally seeing a dose of reality. But I still feel just every bit as angry as I first did when I first encountered it, the abuse. The only difference now is I have more clarity, and I'm stronger than her. But what's a man to do now that he can see through the glass? I am speechless. If she were a dog, I'd say while she's licking her chops, "Have you had enough yet? Has she devoured enough and consumed enough?" Excuse me for bringing up a dog. I'm just saying sometimes she's like a dog in that she's that low to the ground with her actions and insults. There is a lack of obvious integrity, of truth, honesty, and respect of any kind. She sold out for a pretty image of vanity. Sold her soul. I was taken down in the craze, and somewhere my sense of self got lost and thrown out the window. I couldn't have one with her. It threatened her. Her precious image. God forbid I wasn't her lovely prince. I was constantly unfavorably compared to her biological siblings and devalued, compared to her sister, delusional. My dad fought to have full custody over me, claiming her to be mentally incompetent. Yet she won joint custody. Convinced the judge with her charisma and pseudo charm. It's like a false negative when it's really positive. She was positive for a lethal dose of cocaine, metaphorically. Ha. And I got shot up. I didn't want to. I had no choice. She might as well have lined my head up against a brick wall and shot me. What choice did I have? None. It was that simple. Her words were insults, beyond cruel, and I couldn't even recognize her. How could I trust someone who would hurt me, both physically, emotionally, verbally, and spiritually? You know what? Talk is cheap and actions speak louder than words, and she'll die old knowing that she was wrong. But will she ever admit it to herself, to I? Not for the life of her. Shame would never allow her to. Was someone else always to blame? Yes. Why? Because her childhood was so horrendous. Because she didn't get enough attention. Enough attention. She stated to my therapist during our one and only group session together, which she switched from the one face to the next. Haha, give me a fucking goddamn break. The minute we walked out of that therapy office, she turned her back on me. As if the session never fucking existed. As if it was all a joke. I learned so quickly it meant nothing. Just some false hope for the little guy inside of me. Attention, Mother. You spoiled, rotten, narcissistic child. Now, mind you, disclaimer. I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not a medical doctor. I cannot treat or diagnose, and I'm not saying that my mom is narcissistic. So I'm going to be very clear. Very clear. I don't know. Energy-wise, I'm speaking about. Okay. Her sister was honest. Her sister was truthful. She said it like it was. My, quote, mother couldn't take it. She wanted to be the center of attention. Something terrible went wrong when she was born. Something got switched in the head. Something terrible happened because she never let go of this need for attention. Whoring up with guys behind my father's back. Fuck her. For breaking our family apart. Our home. breaking my sister's heart, never showing up for my sister's prom, blowing my brother off, so fucking self-absorbed, too caught up in herself, too busy fucking other men to see she had a devoted fucking husband and children that loved her. Lying to my dad over and over, and yet he had to catch her with his own fucking eyes. Imagine the agony that my father felt and how he had to just shake his head and put on a face, telling the family that everything's all right. What a fucking lie. My poor father. He went into self-denial because of her delusion. And yet we hear another story, never knowing what to believe but our own experiences, which seem too frightening to trust. To let it into our minds and our bodies, our psyches, so we get too caught up in the self-denial, and then the truth gets buried until somebody like my mom's sister or I speak about it and crack the silence, and yet we're pointed at and scapegoated against. God forbid I ever opened my mouth to anyone. With my lovely mother, she would slap me silly. Fuck her. Fuck me for calling her on her shit. Yet that would never slide with her. She had to preserve the image that things were perfect, telling her girlfriends that I was the best son, this straight A student, yet talking shit behind my back and physically abusing me. Jekyll and fucking Hyde. You never know what to expect. I call it a lot of garbage, a lot of trash, and unfortunately I swarmed in it for much of my life. Buried alive in it. I could not breathe. It was to the top. I could not see. Clarity lacked. I got away, moved to Vermont, to New England, and then I was accused of being disloyal to the family by my brother. Heaven. Fuck that shit. Forgetting the space necessary to breathe, to see through the phony fucking veneer. Yeah, I like that song, by the way. Thank you. My God, she and now my brother and sister who have been sucked in must live such a sad life, a lonely fucking existence. Excuse me. Man, to see her with this alcoholic who mirrors her useless existence. God have mercy on her. Pity her. My God, do I feel sorry for her. How the hell can I feel sorry for someone who treated without any respect, who doesn't respect herself, who doesn't think about her actions, who just goes and fucks whoever will give her fucking attention, and who flirts with people to get attention. She complains like a fucking martyr, yet she's choosing to be with this alcoholic. He's a fucking mirror of her, and she doesn't even see it. Yet she elicits sympathy from her friends. Oh, the husband this. Oh, the husband that. Wake the fuck up and open your eyes. I am 26 years old, and I still cannot exist with her. I am still a threat to her. And the more I break away, the more shit she continues to say to me to try and tear and wear me down. How pathetic. Who's going to take care of her when she's old and gray? Who's going to be there for her because she cut everyone else out or pushed everyone out? The only person she can manipulate is her lovely daughter, my sister, who she has managed to enmesh so bad that she has turned on me, my sister. Of course, my sister would disagree because she's in self-denial. Pretty fucking pathetic. My sister can't see through it because inside she's afraid and is clinging like a child. Dependent. There is no judgment there. It's a normal reaction to an abnormal, shocking response. My dad's death. And yes, I found my dad dead. Still, there is denial tearing us apart, creating walls that separate. Exactly what my lovely mother wants. And my mother just embellishes and embellishes and embellishes. How is there truth in a lie? How has the truth become a lie? How has the lie become the truth for some? Those who batted, I'm talking about my brother and sister, those who batted for me and were strong within them fucking selves. They lost their fucking their insides, like turned inside out. How does my sister not see through this shit? And me in the background, once again in the shadow of my lovely mother, such a charade, a lovely dance of who's right, of who wins the cookies, the Grammy. Has she convinced you? No one really wins, you see. I don't have my father. I don't have my brother. I don't even fucking have my sister. None left to vouch for me. Only myself and my journals. They are burned, discarded, whatever she did to them. I'm going to interject real quick and let you guys know that my mother, after I found my dad dead, she and my 2 siblings stole my entire multi-million-dollar inheritance. They calculated it. It was deliberate. It was planned. And they threw out my journals from when I was 5 years old all the way until I was like 18. Every fucking journal. I had over 100 journals to write my books with. My fucking books, dude. And they went into my house where I found my dad's body dead. And my mom and my 2 siblings stole everything. The brand new Mercedes-Benz, the Corvette, the Audi, every car, every coin collection, every fucking gun collection, all the way back to World War I, World War II. My grandparents were officers in the military. They stole everything, left me with nothing, and they stole my journals. If I could have one thing, just one fucking thing, it would have been my journals. I don't give a fuck about anything else. My journals. For my fucking books, dude. My books. All right, let's keep on going. So I said, my journals, they are discarded, whatever she did to them. All I have now is my father's journal that he used in court. I'm an adult now, but inside I feel like I have so much healing to do from this stripping of my dignity, of my livelihood. But, quote, this too will pass, as Al-Anon says, with time, with love, kindness, friendship, support, acceptance. It will move past like a rain cloud. The rain will dissolve. We will heal our wounds. But she will die on her deathbed, never being able to say, I'm sorry, because she lacks empathy. She refuses to get help. After all this damage that she has caused people, she continues to deflect blame, and people buy into this new changed person. There is nothing left to fight for when all else is gone, i.e. my father and me. My mother has won, and now through fear, because her siblings are isolated, they have grown dependent on her. My sister for her approval, dependent, and my brother financially. My mother is the empire, or rather her alcoholic husband, who my mother hides behind. What would she do without her false supply, the alcoholic? Be left with herself? She's already left with herself, which is why she has to feed off of people to keep her sense of self alive. So pathetic, so sad, stricken poverty. She's delusional and lost it. A long time ago, she tried bringing me down with her to her level in this horror show, this film. It was so bad I couldn't even believe it was real. I had to make believe and hide out in my own fucking room, go outside in nature to try to escape the chaos and the craze. And yet she was never to blame. Polished her up like a car, baby. Like her freshly painted, manicured high-end nails that never lost their shine, except when they encountered a chip. Yet people still can't see through it. Unbelievable. Simply put, my life was never my own. My tower, my selfhood, burned down a long time ago. She wouldn't let me build my own life. She tried to tear me down every fucking wall I built. She would find where I would hide, and she would breathe fire on me. And there's a song, but I don't know. I might share this song with you guys. You guys can look it up. It's by Strata. It says, she would breathe fire on me until I melted and died and shrunk and stood so low, I did not even have a sense of self. Yeah, that's right, Moon. I said, I shrunk and I stood so low, I did not even have a sense of self or worth or trust. And then she would bring me back to life. This is so fucked up, dude. Then she would bring me back to life with her sweet, loving words and sweet talking promises. I fell for them, for her flattery, the guise, such a forced expression, so cruel. What a joke, I always said. And then she'd pick me back up and the whole cycle would start all over. I'd be damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'd be damned if I repeated the cycle again, like the 10 Wheel of Fortune card. And unfortunately, I have in all my relationships thus far. I have moved so lovingly into a habitual pattern of finding unavailable women. Yeah, it's my karma. To repeat the cycle with. But no more. I can't, I repeat to myself. I will die again, I say to myself. I will suffocate, I mutter, and occasionally scream. The roof is on fire, my room is on fire, buildings collapsed. It haunts me in my dreams as I dream of death and escape. Maybe someday I will let a woman in the entryway, not the way my mother did. No woman will knock down every single wall, and will I ever give her such power to do so? Because that's destructive. And it's not my responsibility to put on the brakes, to say, hey, don't tear me down. If she can't have the decency to do it herself, she's not worth it. She has issues. And I don't want to be a part of her deadly fucking force. Right there, is it like that? Mass destruction. Nature. I want nothing to do with it. I want to build my own fucking castle, my own tower. And when I find a woman worthy of trust and respect, I will let her in the doorway to share that part with me. But until then, I have gates locked and a sign that says, keep out. Hence my words over my journal's front cover. Those represent boundaries. You have to love the unknown. I wrote a poem that said, quote, I swear I'm loving myself even less. But this time I'm turning that cup upside down. She and all who have hurt me can kiss my ass. The truth is there is grief. But this time I have support. I have 12-step. And that's enough for me. There are people who care. There is wisdom. There is strength. There is support. There is love and kindness and encouragement. I don't need a beating or a midnight rant. I don't need blackness, my eye, or my heart. My castle will stand tall. My tower, built with new walls, only for me. Stable and free. No wind will knock me over. No destructive force will break my fall or tear down my walls. That's my poem, guys. Yeah. So that's my poem. And yeah, my body's a little shaky right now. It's shaky, and I'm gonna be real, like, I feel sad right now. I really do. You said, okay, Moon is writing. She says, so could you say what your mom did to you was a form of destiny swap? And perhaps you were a reflection of her own shortcomings. That piece is true. You said you were a reflection of her own shortcomings. Yes. So she despised the mirror held up and not you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's about her. I agree. You said referring to her anger becoming your own as she grew content at making you live in a darkness that was her home once, now your cage. You said let go of it all. Yeah, exactly. Peeling those the layers right now. You said I have never heard a 20-minute poem before. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, that was my poem. And I think, let's see here. I think I want to read one more thing here. Let's see. Here's what I'll read this one. Okay, this was written on the 27th. What are these dates? The 17th, now the 27th. Okay. So this next one was May 27th, 2007. All right, 2007. Dear Mother, you need to take a look in the mirror and start to become honest with yourself. You lie to yourself and you try way too hard. You are uncomfortable in your own skin, and whether you admit it or not, you let others define you. You are a hypocrite, not to mention. You hide behind the Bible and use it as a crutch rather than looking at yourself. You discredit yourself, and because of this, you discredit everyone else. You project this is what you said, Moon, right here. Right here. You project your dissatisfaction and your insecurities onto everyone. It's never, quote, your fault. It's everyone else's. No one is good enough for you, and nothing anyone does is good enough for you. Simply put, nothing is good enough for you, not even yourself. You blame. I think you're at the point now where you're completely unwilling to admit to the mistakes you've made. You are, okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay. Says, you are and have become that blind, a prisoner to yourself and your own reality. You have let things control you and given up your own power, and you're partly aware of this. And whatever little awareness you allow to seep into your consciousness, and because you sense this loss of control, you try to control everyone else. Nothing is, quote, free with you, Mom. It all comes with strings and a price. You think people owe you things. That, or you cut them out of your life entirely, convincing yourself that you don't need them, and then you play the victim. Perhaps you should admit to all of your wrongs and admit to yourself and forgive yourself and let go of the idea that, Mom, let me remind you, you've held on to for much too long, that everyone else is the problem. As I said previously, you let people define you, and this goes both ways. As much as they fill you up and have the power to fulfill you, they can equally let you down because you let them. You don't acknowledge your own power. You never have. Moon? Let me finish this. I got like 2 paragraphs. You give too much credit outside of yourself, Mom, and then you justify it with, quote, well, that's how it's supposed to be. And if people like me, for example, realize that that's not the case and rely on themselves anyway, you call me selfish. No, Mom, it's not selfish. It's called taking care of yourself, something you've never done. You probably had the chance when you were with my dad, but we all know you fucked that one up. You exchanged it, something that was real, for a fake sold out life. Are you happy now? Is it everything you've ever wanted and thought it would be? Are you proud? Do you have the reputation that you've always sought in that class and all the friends that you ever dreamt of? You left something that was real to try and seek status. Come to quickly find out it wasn't real, and now you feel like an idiot, are plagued with guilt, and don't know what to do, especially since Dad is not around, and you feel stuck like you can't go back. And God knows if you ever get the balls to leave the alcoholic somewhere because you're not happy and he's not happy. Neither of you are happy. You pretend, especially you. And you're just getting sicker every day, slipping further away from yourself. I'm sorry, from being able to get better. Why? Why not take care of yourself and look after yourself? See, you know all of this on some level, Mom, but you wouldn't admit it for the life of you or to anybody. Why not? Because it's embarrassing. Fuck that. Everything is embarrassing to you, Mom. Like, even I, your son, was embarrassing to you. You embarrass yourself, Mother. You are selfish. You are a selfish, powerless little girl. This is at this time I wrote this thing. Okay. Well, I hate to say this, but you can't regain that power by trying to control others and avoid yourself. which is ultimately what you do. You try to control others to avoid having to focus on yourself. Fucking admit your wrongs and that you need help. That's a pretty good start. You've already sucked me dry. You fed off of me like a fucking leech, but I will not give you my power anymore. I am my own person and I am becoming my own person. And the thought of this scares you because we all know that you're not your own person. Get real, Mom. Wake up and smell the coffee. See things for how they are. And then there's a song, and this is the last part, Moon, because I know you want to share something. The song goes like this. It's called 23 by Jimmy Eat World. Okay? It goes, I felt for sure last night that once we said goodbye, no one else will know these lonely dreams. No one else will know that part of me. I'm still driving away. I might as well say, Mom. I'm still driving away, Mom, and I'm sorry every day. I won't always love these self. Oh wait, maybe this is my mom. Sorry, I wrote this poem. I wrote this a long time ago. Maybe this is my mom. I'm not sure. I'd have to replay the song, but it says, "I'm still driving away, and I'm sorry every day. I won't always love these selfish things." Or maybe it was me, and that was her, like the project. Okay, I don't know. I'd have to play the music. But it says, I won't always live, not stopping. It was my turn to decide. I knew this was our time. No one else will have me like you do. No one else. I think this is actually me. I'm saying this to my mama. No one else will have me like you do. No one else will have me, only you. Yeah, emotional enmeshment. You'll sit alone forever, Mom, if you wait for the right time. What are you hoping for? Yeah, and what are you waiting for? I'm here, I'm ready, holding on tight. Don't give away the end, the one that stays mine. Amazing still it seems. I'll be 23, Mom. I won't always love what I'll never have. Dude, that makes me want to fucking cry. I want to cry. That makes me so fucking sad right there. That line. I won't always love what I'll never fucking have. I won't always live in my regrets because I can never make her happy. You'll sit alone, Mom, if you wait for the right time. What are you hoping for? I'm here, I'm now, and I'm ready, holding on tight. Wow. Don't give away the end, the one thing that stays mine. You'll sit alone forever if you wait for the right time. What are you hoping for, Mom? I'm here, I'm now, I'm ready. Dude, this is so sad. This thing makes me want to cry. I'm done. Okay, go ahead, Moon. My arm hairs are like standing and I feel like really emotional. Ugh. Just like, yeah. AB, I'm not doing that right now. I'm in the middle of reading poetry and stuff. Just like, you can wait. I'll do it in a minute. I'm going to read you guys another poem, and this one is not about my mommy. This is a different poem that I wrote after this. So, Moon, I didn't ask for advice, and I didn't know you were going to share advice. I find that invasive. I appreciate your thoughtfulness, but I find it invasive. Because I'm not trying to be rude, but you're not my therapist. You're not, you know what I mean? Like, I find that really infantilizing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I didn't know you were giving, I didn't know you were going to try to lecture, like, lecture me or something. You know what I'm trying to say? I wasn't aware of that. I don't find that, I find that really infantilizing. I'm not interested. All right, guys, I'm going to read another poem here. So this one, like I said, is not to my mom. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Actually, let me find a different one. We're going to read another one. Let's see here. This poem. Here we go. Okay, this was written on the 8th. Yeah, go figure, the 8th, right? Okay, we got the 17th and then 27th. Now we got the 8th. Okay. March 8th, 2004. Oh boy. Sky. Girl, I really appreciate that. The cat ears. Thank you. All right. Okay. This one says, this is an original poem I wrote. When the sun begins to shine, the bird shall spread its wings and fly. Far, far away from here it shall go, never again to return back home. For if it returns back home, its wings will be broken and it won't be able to fly again. Misery will be its token and eventually it will die. ... I'm going to read that one more time. Again, this was written March 8th, 2004. When the sun begins to shine, the bird shall spread its wings and fly. Far, far away from here it shall go, never again to return back home. For if it returns back home, its wings will be broken, and it won't be able to fly again. Misery will be its token, and eventually it will die. I'm the bird, by the way, of that song. And yeah, it goes along with what I read you guys about. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to read you guys another poem that I wrote. And again, this is an original poem. So here we go. This one is called Another Poem for Your Deaf Ears. Another title was Dirty Laundry. So whether you want to call it Dirty Laundry or Another Poem for Your Deaf Ears, and I wrote it on the 9th. What a coincidence. February 9th, 2010. Okay. I can't make it up. The date's written on there. So, all right. Ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Don't tell me you're not either. We're all afraid of something. For me, it's getting hurt. It's being exposed, being rejected. I hide behind armor because it protects me from being pecked at. I really like the analogy of a knight. I relate to him. In his blazingly beautiful armor, it hides the defenseless me. It hides the weak, vulnerable, keyword, person inside the armor. I never wanted to put on that armor. I somehow had to bear the responsibility, I'm emphasizing certain words, of it from an early age. No wonder literally my shoulders hurt. Every place on our bodies represents parts of our psyche. For the shoulders, it's an individual who has taken on too much responsibility. That has always been me, taking on the many burdens of the world. Perhaps I never felt adequately equipped to deal with the world, which is why I hid behind my relationships and even the relationship of my protective father. Perhaps I'm a big pussy inside, puss, and weak. I feel small, in many ways defective. I can grow up though. I can grow big and fit into this armor. I go to the gym to help with this, and I find ways to strengthen my mind, body, soul, and spirit. I want to catapult into this new life, metamorphosis like a caterpillar. I know that I can. I know that with time, with faith, and ever increasing trust, I can fit into the shoe and mold that fits. I know that with time, I will be able to defend myself against the harshness and severities of the world. I will be able to stand on my own. I will be able to say I exist amongst the crowd. I will be able to love myself, love and fully trust. I'm a dude, bro. I'm not a girl. I was born intersex, bro. Okay. So no she. All right, let's see. So it says, I will be able to love and fully trust. It will be beautiful. For the first time, this ice block that I have been living in will be dissolved. It's okay. The sun will have shone on my face, and I can bask in it for perhaps the very first time since I was 5 years old. Old beliefs, limiting beliefs can be shed. There is beauty in the breakdown, Dido once said. Break down my walls. To be honest, I'm not sure there's much left there, inside. The walls are decayed, like dilapidated buildings. I feel exposed now, mushy, raw. I feel as if my guts are hanging out. I feel turned inside out. I wanted to hide. I wanted to stay inside. I wanted to stay protected, armored, suited, but I couldn't because that's not my natural disposition. I am meant to be free, not captivated. I am meant to soar, not be locked behind some door, incandescent, with the lights out, burnt out bulbs and roots that are dismantled, ungrounded, my face and hands pressed up against the wall. I can feel my own breath on my face as it blows back like a cocked gun, similar to a smoker whose wind returned the favor, returning the favor of blackened skies and tarred lungs and walls that are so cold, like steel, and the platform from which I have stood after all of these years. Dusty, rusty, muddy, waters that have been soiled, polluted, oxygen that has lacked, streets, guardrails polluted. I do not recognize the names of the faces that I see. I did not ask you to correct my poem. Stop. Look, you're welcome to stay in here, but don't fucking try to correct my shit, okay? That's out of line, dude. It's a boundary. All right. Dusty, rusty, muddy, waters that have been polluted, have been soiled. Peace out, bro. Block you. Okay. Fucking rude. Okay, anyways. I do not recognize the names of the faces that I see. Sometimes not even my own, Your Majesty. I played the game much too well. The game of chess, it nearly killed me, can't you tell? I scream down the halls, the echoes reverberating. I feel lost. I feel short, not tall. I am on my knees praying, God, help me, please. It feels like a nightmare. I'm caught in a show, a cast that is unrecognizable. A piece of glass pressed up against me. Between me and the sheets, there's somebody there. Are you listening? I hear a voice without a sound, but still, damn, there's no one around. The echoes, the echoing off the walls, reverberating, pulsing up and down my spine, sending chills like shockwaves. I intertwine the starlight. Oh shit, dude. Did I seriously fucking write that shit? The starlight. Oh man, this is fucking weird. And all these numbers with my poems, the numbers 8, 17, 9, like 27. What the fuck? I wrote this poem a little while ago, like years ago. I intertwine the starlight, weaving my fingers through her hair. I try not to blink or wince. I sit there and I stare. I do not move. I am frozen like a rabbit or a deer caught in headlights. I scream, but I do not show fright. The twilight, the moon. Hey, JT, it's all right. Yeah, it's time to fucking face this shit, man. We'll talk about it in a second, okay? All right. I'm gonna keep reading my poem, guys. This is my original poem. So it says, like a rabbit or a deer caught in headlights, I scream, but I do not show fright. The twilight, the moon shining so bright above my head, and I am lying there, quote, half past dead, exhausted, in need of a good night's sleep. I have a shoulder to rest my head on and a place I can rest my feet. I am the knight who wears his armor. It appears to be glued on me. The climate is getting warmer. It melts away those layers, those sheets. The ice is melting from my feet. I can almost stand. I can almost walk. I almost don't need a cane. And oh my God, I can talk. It feels so good to talk. You mean to tell me I have a voice? I am speechless, rendered defenseless. I am standing there in front of a crowd with my shit all hanging out. 2 sheets to the wind. I feel the slice. It's my throat. I'm choking again, wanting to spill the words to release. But I feel like I have bullets aimed at me, and I'm scared of defeat. I want to speak, but instead I weep because I just cannot get the words out. Instead, I freeze. I pull the lid up off of the helmet. My eyes are wincing because for the very first time I can see. I reach my hand out, and I can now finally believe that an angel has been sent for me. The ice is melting, the clock is ticking, the crowd is scurrying, and I see myself standing there, an empty stare. I tell myself, quote, I swore I wouldn't be caught dead in my underwear. How's that for some dirty laundry? And that's my poem, Dirty Laundry. Another poem for your deaf ears, Dirty Laundry. You said, Maverick, I know we don't know each other, but I'm so sorry you were put through this. This breaks my heart to hear. Well, you know what? I'm ready to look at this. I'm ready to fucking look at it. Sam says, he is strong and smart. Thank you, Sam. You said, damn, I like dark therapy. Some people only heal by truly feeling a light in through the darkness. Oh, wow. All right, so that's one poem. I'm going to read another one to you guys. Here we go. Oh, hell no, the fucking date again. I cannot make these dates up, you guys. This was written on the 21st. Every single fucking date is symbolic. May 21st, 2010. It's called A Penny for Your Thoughts. Poetry, letters, and postcards never made much sense to me compared to the silence echoing off these four walls. Time is a ticking bomb, counting down the days, and somewhere in between, feeling what's real. What's left of the skeletal nightmare. A street infested with drugs. I can feel the heartbeats of those involved, whose lives are shattered, who are down and out, screaming. Children's dreams tattered, and homes that are unstable, hearts that have been battered. Quote, he walketh us into thee, end quote. You fill in the blank is what they hear. Their only hope, these children, their lives broke, their hearts, their souls ripped from their chest, split between all the fighting, naked, raw, and exposed, offering no protection. This is a hard lesson. Streets infested, only cries and prayers to fill the midnight sky. Children weep, exhausted by their defeat. They have no one they can trust. I'm talking about the children. They have no one they can trust or place to sleep, and no place to call, quote, home. Home. The truth seems to be lacking as they walk a thin line between wrong and right and love and goodbye. There are no words to describe the devastation, the underlying current of their cries and worries that keep them up all night. And still we sit here exhausted, having claimed this to be our only option, extorted. Twisted is the system in which we live, which does not provide. And still it's an eye for an eye kind of world. What on earth has happened? A city kid sold to drugs to try to obtain some love. How backwards is that? That the kids should be out there hustling for a dime, a sold out penny. Are we that turned off and disconnected to not be able to shelter or give our children any hope or relief? Too caught up in the greater problems of our lives? Too inflicted with personal strife to show we care? Too caught up in the midst, the mess, the masquerade? Too decadent to understand our lives? To understand, ... Our lives miserable, hope lesser than a grain of sand. We have taken our families for granted. Our hearts lost, tossed aside like an ocean wave, a tide of tears. There is little sense of relief in the space between. That's the poem. It's about the streets, and it's about the inner streets, the inner city, and the kids, the children. So these are my original poems. If you guys are wondering what I'm reading. Oh, hell no, dude. This is crazy. Unbelievable. This poem, I raise my hands. This is so weird and uncanny. It blows my mind. This poem was written on the 18th. So 18, which reduces to 9, May 18th, 2010. And it's about my twin flame. And I didn't even know my twin flame at this point. So guys, I'm telling you, I know this is so freaking weird. And I said Starlight in my last poem. Again, 18. It goes like this. And there's 8 people in here right now. I have 9 likes on my show right now. 8-9. Now it's 9-9 on my show. Okay. That's symbolic, by the way. Those numbers are symbolic. Okay. Oh, love, I am sleepy. And I channeled this. I didn't even know my twin. This is a channeled poem about my twin flame before I even met my twin in the physical. Oh, love, I am sleepy. I wish we were together, watching a movie and eating popcorn. You and I. Whilst in your lonely hour, you are alone, yet with another. And my heart longs to unite and be with you tonight, starlight, my friend, my confidant. Amankara. I wish that we could lay under the stars as friends and hold hands, letting the breeze blow away our worries, the wind. I would run my fingers through your hair, my companion soulmate, and we could talk all night about our experiences and the things that bring us both beauty and joy. I would smile and melt into the atmosphere and warm blanket that we would be wrapped in. We'd be looking up at the night sky in a large open plain, surrounded by trees, listening to the breeze, smelling the fresh air and hearing the crickets chirp and the locusts. I would see the gleam in your eyes, the reflection from the moonlight. I would be happy to be there next to you, close together, hand in hand, sharing stories, starlight, of our past, of our broken boulevard of dreams, our wishes, our hopes, our joys, our pleasures, our fears. With all my best attention, my love, and undue respect, you would see me naked, unmasked. My heart a canvas, star, for you to write on. My shoulder a place for you to rest, for you to cry on, a protection for your head. My presence would dissolve your fears. I would baptize you with my tears. Basking in such an unconventional ceremony, that's marriage. That's twin flame marriage right there. In a Buddhist sky, all things connected, quote, trees and rocks, water and sand, you and I. We could skip rocks together at the beach. Dude, this fucking happened in real life. And guys, I'm telling you, this poem was written before I even met my twin on the 18th. I know this poem, I'm telling you, I raised my hand. This poem was channeled. When I wrote this poem, it was channeled. Our toes in the sand, building sandcastles in the sky, writing our names in the stars, tracing our every move. We would dance, your body next to mine, feeling the energy. There are no words to fully describe what I feel when I think of the experience. It entices me. There is a mystery in the air. I can smell it. There is a fog in the distance, but far away from my mind. I see, envision, crystal clear. Crystal clear. And your eyes reflect mine, my dear. And your heart is mine. My hand, quote, to which we stand, one nation, under the moonlit sky. Sleep tight, my love. Good night to you. Kisses you on the forehead. There we go. That's that. It's my poem. Before I ever even met my real twin flame. It's insane, dude. The dates. If you go through every poem I sent you guys, the dates are very symbolic. 18 reduces to 9. I mean, it's crazy. And I don't know. So I'm going to let you guys go, but I wanted to say thank you. Everybody in the chat, thanks for listening to my original poetry. And God bless you guys. Love to you. It's 11:11 on my screen right now. Good night.